Are you guys ready for some more robots? If you are, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me, and if not, well, this is the wrong video for you because we're getting ready to talk about some more robots. And specifically, we're going to be talking about what all these letters mean next to the names of the bombs and pods. And this is something that probably a lot of people are confused about, and I was really confused about too for a long time because the game doesn't do like actually a good job at all, or any kind of job telling you what all of them mean. You just have to read for it for yourself in the description. So let's clear up a few things. So to start off with, there are 11 different types, like variations, or there are 11 different letters basically that can be after the name of your bomb or pod, and all of them, like, pretty much it tells you what kind of hitbox you're going to have. So the 11 letters are F, S, K, X, G, T, H, D, P, B, and C. So let's get kind of into what all of these are about. So the first one we're going to talk about is F, and there are 7 parts with the F designation. There's a standard bomb, and that's the only bomb for pods. There's standard, seeker, feint, float, beast, and twin flame. So any F bomb is going to blow the target sideways and have a really tall hitbox. And I'll show you exactly what the hitbox is going to look like here. That's what it looks like. It disappears really quickly too, by the way. And so that's F. And so the next one is S. And there are actually only 2 parts in the entire game that are S, which are standard S and straight S, both bombs. There are no pods. And this briefly immobilizes the target, and it has a really long hit stun with no knockback at all. And so you'll see it just sort of like stops them in place, and let's get follow-ups pretty easily. So this is a really great designation to have, but there's not a whole lot of flexibility because there are only 2 different types of bombs that get S. So the next one is K, and these are really interesting. There are only 3 Ks in the game, and they're all bombs: standard, submarine, and crescent. And the really neat thing about the K bombs is that they always knock the target down on impact, and they also knock the target like diagonally backwards. And the other thing to note is that it's got like a really small hitbox. See that little green ball? So it's a little bit hard to hit with, but if you get it, it always knocks the opponent down. So that's really cool. And the next one is X. So there are only 2 X's. There's standard bomb X and caboose pod X. And so let's show you what this X does. The X blows the target diagonally upwards and high into the air. And it really does mean high into the air. Look at that. Look how high he goes. The thing to note here is that the opponent is generally going to leave hit stun while he's still in the air. And that's what X is all about. I'm not really convinced about X. I don't think it's all that terribly useful, but we'll see. The next one is G, and this has the most parts in the entire game. G. It has 9 different parts, only 2 bombs: straight G and tomahawk G. But it has a whole crap load of pods. It's got seeker, cockroach, dolphin, spider, feint, jumping, and twin flank G. So G is going to blow the target upwards and also have a vertical hitbox. This is pretty similar to F, but with a different knockback trajectory. It even looks pretty similar, disappears pretty quick. Very similar to F, but it blows them directly straight up instead of sideways. So the next one is T, and there are only 2 T's in the game. There's straight T, the bomb straight T, and then caboose pod T. And T is really cool because it reels your opponent in. It says blows target towards you, and this is really good for combos. And let's show it off. You see, you hit him, and it reels him in, and then, well, I just reeled him into his own bomb so you can see very well. But it's got kind of a small hitbox. But you see how that can be good for combos? It gives you a good option to be able to land your like collision attack afterwards, especially depending on what robo you have. So T is a really nice one to have, but again, it's very elusive. Only straight bomb and caboose pod can get it. And now H, this is one that I personally like a lot, is H. There are 5 of them. There's left and right flank bombs. Those are the only bombs. And there's also 3 pods: cockroach, satellite, and trio. And so these are going to blow the target slowly sideways, which pretty much, when it says slowly sideways, that pretty much tells you that it's got quite a long amount of hit stun, so you can follow it up if you've got like a sniper or some gun that's going to allow you to follow it up. It's a little bit easier than with other types of bombs. So H is pretty nice, but knocking them sideways is a little bit awkward, but because it takes them so long to regain control of robo again, it's nice for having follow-ups if you've got a gun able to capitalize. And so the next one is D, and there's 2 bombs and 2 pods, 4 total. There's burrow and submarine bomb D, and then speed and throwing pod D. And so D looks really cool actually. Where is this? Burrow? Okay. So this is gonna have a blast that lingers for a while and blows the target diagonally upwards. And the hitbox is pretty wide too. Let's see, you can't really see it there. Look, for one thing, it just looks really cool. You've got a cool sound effect, not really relevant to competitive play, but it does look cool and have a cool sound effect, and it lingers for a while. So that's what D is all about. The next one I want to talk about is P, and P is really nice, and there are quite a lot of them that get P too. So there's 6. There's Burrow, Gemini, Submarine, and Crescent Bomb P, as well as 2 pods, Speed and Throwing P. And this is nice just because of like the hitbox is easy to hit because it lingers for a while. It blows the target upwards. It also has a tall hitbox, so it's pretty much like G kind of. However, the hitbox lasts longer. It's basically a better version of G, if you want to think about it that way. It's a little bit skinnier of a hitbox, I think, than with the other vertical hitboxes that we've had so far. But it does linger for a long time. It's kind of hard to hit the opponent with it because this is Gemini, but I'll see if I can get one hit in there. Blows them upwards, as you can see. Sorry, that took longer than I wanted it to. And so P is pretty nice. You don't necessarily get the greatest follow-ups off of P, but it really limits your opponent's movement because it lasts for a while, and it's so tall that they can't jump over it. So the next one is B, and there are 3. There's Tomahawk and Gemini Bomb B, and also Jumping Pod B. And what B does is that it also lasts for a while. Like it says blast lingers a while and blows target sideways. And the thing about the B is that it also lingers like the P does, but it's not nearly as tall of a hitbox. It's like just generally really small. It's to me it seems kind of like a smaller version of D. So just I don't know, in my opinion, not terribly great, because blowing the target sideways isn't something that usually that helps you that much either. Anyway, the last one is C, and C is really great. C is probably my favorite type of bomb, just in general. And so there are only 3 of them. There's Crescent and Dual C, and there's caboose pod C. And it says blast lingers a while, blows target slightly upwards. And so this is really nice because this is very similar. It looks like an H. Look, see, it looks like an H, but the blast lingers longer, and instead of going to the side, it knocks them directly upwards, which makes it like a little bit easier to get the follow-up if you confirm. So C, definitely very good. If you can work that into your build, I recommend C. And so that's pretty much the real quick and dirty rundown of what the heck all of these different parts in the game mean. Now, real quick, something I want to touch on is that there is going to be a difference in the damage that you get out of your part depending on the letter you choose. However, it's not really consistent. Like, you can't always say that like one letter, like X for example, is stronger than T or something. It kind of is just different depending on the specific part. I was trying to put together a really complicated diagram to figure out which is the strongest letter and which is the weakest, so that you always know going into selecting your part which one's going to give you more damage than the other one. But it's not consistent, and I'll give you an example of why. So let's start out with a straight bomb G, and this damage, that gives us 53 damage. And this is the test mode, which I am told has 10% damage reduction. I haven't personally verified it, so this might not be the exact same damage that you're going to get in a real match. And so now we're doing S, straight S, and that is also 53 damage, which would lead you to believe that G and S are equivalent power to each other. So let's do another experiment. Let's do standard F, and let's look at the damage that we're going to get. I'm going to do an air shot, which is going to be less damage than the regular shot just because it's easier. Oh my god. Boy, run into it. Okay, that wasn't an air shot. Just take into account that was not an air shot. That was 72 for the grounded shot of the F, the standard F. So now we're going to try out standard S. And we got to do a grounded shot so I can show you for sure. Okay, and that's 62. You see that? It says 62, you see that? So here we can tell that F is stronger than S. And we already showed before that S was equal to G, which tells us that F should be stronger than G. But that doesn't follow, because if we use Seeker F, let's just look at the damage. Oh my gosh. Get him, Seeker. Get him, Seeker. Get him, Seeker. He's not seeking him. He's not seeking him. I apologize for pod AI. I can only do so much. Okay, there we go. See it? 27 damage. And that was from Seeker F. And now we're going to put on Seeker G. I hate these Seekers. There, you see? 27 damage. So this shows Seeker F being equal to Seeker G. But we already showed that from the bomb calculations, F should be stronger than G. So, as you can see, like, while there is going to be a damage differential depending on like which type of bomb or pod you choose, it's not consistent which one is going to be like the strongest compared to the others. As a general rule, this is something else I wanted to note. As a general rule, usually the part select screen has them listed in order from strongest to weakest in a particular category, but it's not 100% like a strong and like hard fast rule, because Crescent C does less damage than Crescent K, even though it's listed before it. But usually the stronger ones are listed first, but not always. And that is pretty much everything about letters that I wanted to talk about. And so I hope you all enjoyed and can find something to take away from this, because this was definitely a really informative exercise for me to go through just learning everything explicitly like this. So I'll see you guys later. I don't know what I'm gonna do next week. I think probably I'll be talking about robo bodies and the advantages that everyone has over like the other robos, because that's something that people talk to me about a lot, that they're confused, especially with how, like, why would I choose a trick flyer over a strike vanisher? That's especially one that everybody's confused about. So I'll probably talk about that next week, or I might put it off and put something else. I don't know. I'll see you guys then. Bye.